Hey everyone. Thank you for jumping on a call with me today. So before we get started, why don't we introduce ourselves and I can start us off on that. So I'm Mike. I'm a physiology major with the class of 2021 at Case Western Reserve University, and I'm calling today from Chicago, Illinois, now that we're all off campus.
Hi, I'm Vaibhav. I'm originally from India, but right now I'm in Cleveland. I am pursuing MBA and MSM Finance. I'm a class of 2021 as well.
Hi, I'm Wyatt. I'm a third year studying chemistry and music, and I'm zooming in from the greater Cleveland area.
Hi, I'm Atirola. I'm a fourth year chemical engineering major, zooming in from Houston, Texas.
Hi, my name is Marin. I'm a fourth year studying political science and Spanish. And I'm also in the integrated graduate studies program studying political science, and I'm currently in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Hi everyone, my name is Sasong Yodosin. I'm a fourth year student studying human-computer interaction and business management, and I'm currently coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Awesome. Thank you all for joining me again today. So obviously we mentioned this a little bit before, but this semester at Case Western Reserve has been a bit different than what we're all used to. And I'm sure none of us really expected to be spending this much time taking classes behind a screen. So how are all of you dealing with that transition to remote learning and managing your course load this semester now that we're all virtual?
So I think it took a couple of days, honestly, to just get acquainted with, you're sitting the entire day in front of computer. So I've actually set up two separate desks. One is a standing desk and one is a sitting desk. Because the first day I took classes, I had classes from morning till evening, and I ended up with a back pain after that. So it was more like I need to separate time. So I spent morning classes standing, and like afternoon when I'm kind of tired, I switch back to sitting.
I think it's definitely been a strange adjustment, especially coming from, studying on campus with your friends in your class and texting your friends to, meet up in Tank or something, to coming home and doing everything from behind my computer screen has definitely been a bit of a challenge, just because, especially as somebody so extroverted, I'm always trying to do my work with other people, or even if it's just me sitting across from someone at KSL and we're not talking, I find comfort in that. So it's definitely been a little bit different being at home and not having that same opportunity to have that human interaction.
I would say it's been a different transition. Oh, sorry to interrupt. Just like redefining my day within the context of my family. So it's really awesome being able to sit down for meals with them and help my parents figure out their own technology dilemmas. But it is kind of a weird structure compared to the more individual lifestyle I had on campus.
100%. I think it's important to recognize that we're not just doing virtual classes, but we're doing virtual classes during a pandemic, which is a totally different experience. Which of your classes was the most impacted by this transition to remote learning, and how is that kind of being handled in terms of different types of classes? I know that some of us may be taking labs, some of us may have clinical courses.
So as a performance major, it's been really difficult. I'm finding myself taking violin lessons over FaceTime with my teacher. And it's not the best audio quality. Orchestra is just not happening anymore. We're taking, we have written assignments instead. My chamber class is done for good. And then on top of that, I do have two labs that normally meet twice a week. And it's just, I don't know, it's weird taking quizzes in place of the experiential education that I signed up for.
The easiest transition I've had was a 7-person discussion class, because with 7 people, it's much more manageable to take turns and talk about different topics than it is with 30 or so people.
Most of the MBA classes, they involve some sort of project. And this semester, I have 2 classes where we're doing projects with external clients. So one of them has come out to be really fine, they're accommodating us because everybody is also working from home. But for the other, we are in a fixed situation where we need to revise the project scope during the middle of the semester to make sure we're able to deliver, but in a different manner. So not going all the way, because a lot of that would ask for implementation as well, and we can't implement anything from home. So that modification has happened. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a mixed for us. It's kind of a mix. Some projects are going fine. Some of them are finding it difficult.
Also, I just want to say, like, in addition to the performance-based classes, I'm in a PE class right now, and I have to have my video on for that. And it's like a music-based performance course that I'm getting like phys ed credit for. Normally we're in like a ballet studio that we have to like have our shoes and socks off so that we can like clap around in like a circle. It's really weird doing that in my living room and like having my parents watch that.
I definitely understand the strangeness with involving your family in some of your classes. My mother recently had to proctor my physiology exam, so added on top of the stress of worrying about doing well, I also had to not disappoint my mother, who was looking over my shoulder. So I know we've talked a little bit about some of the challenges and some of the successes of remote learning, but I think let's shift over to those pleasant surprises, those classes that you might not have been expecting to transition to a virtual environment as well, but something that happened to work quite well.
I'm in an entrepreneurship class right now with Michael Goldberg. Shout out Michael Goldberg if you watch this. And it's completely discussion based. We have guest speakers come in and they talk about different avenues of entrepreneurship and what they've done in their lives regarding the startup world and IPOs and all that business stuff. He streams our lectures so that people from the community can watch them and be involved and put questions in the chat for the guest speakers. And we've had four or five classes now since going virtual, and I think it's, of my classes, the one that's probably going the most smoothly.
I have a lunchtime class and I can eat my lunch during class. I know professors are sometimes normally they're understanding, but this is also my small class, so I always felt rude like coming into a small discussion based class and eating, but now that I can just mute my audio, it's not like a distraction really, and so if I don't have a point to make, I can eat my lunch during lunchtime, which is nice.
So I think one of the silver linings I've kind of found throughout this whole thing is having those 15 minutes between classes for myself, rather than like worrying about running from the quad to CIM twice a day, 3 days a week. I can eat my lunch during those times, and I can also just sit. I can move from one bed to the next if I really felt like it, if I really wanted the change of scenery.
I think for me, the biggest saving has been in terms of time. So I also work at the clinic, and earlier it used to be I have a class in the morning, then I'll go to work, and then I'll come back for an evening class. So that would typically take like 1 to 2 hours of my day. But now I don't have to do that. So I finish off my work earlier because I can go in like right after the class, I can just patch in for my work. So honestly, like this is kind of blessing in terms of the amount of time that I just save every day. Yeah, I mean, it's wonderful.
Generally, it's nice just having remote learning be our option. It makes things seem a bit less apocalyptic. Just being able to see everyone's face and just kind of reflect back on the community that we have on campus and translating that into our homes has been really refreshing. Also, just having a chat during class is cool, like having 2 streams of dialogue where there's like annotation and also some jokes going on. I think it's a good feature for classrooms.
Obviously, this is a stressful time. We've talked a little bit about those stressors. So what are you all doing to relax?
I was talking to my mom yesterday, actually. This is really funny that you asked that. And I was telling my mom, I was like, I'm super bored. I don't like do anything. And I have a lot more free time than before. And she was like, you used to have hobbies in high school. Why don't you just like pick up your hobbies? And I was sitting in my room and I had to think, I was like, what did I used to do before school like consumed my life? But I've gotten back into needlepoint. I used to paint and needlepoint a lot in high school. So I've been needlepointing a lot. I needlepointed for like 3 hours earlier today and it was so calming.
So I have set up different Bluetooth speakers in different rooms in my house. and every room has got a different music theme to it. So when I feel like, oh, I want to listen to something with this, which is hip hop, so I'll go to that room, and like even if I'm studying or something, I'll just go there. It's kind of relaxing versus switching back to classical or something else.
It feels like everyone else is playing Animal Crossing or watching Tiger King, and I am journaling instead and going on bike rides and stuff, and it's really nice.
You have to watch Tiger King. It's so good.
I'm trying to watch critically acclaimed movies that everyone has watched, you know, like old movies that everyone's seen. I haven't seen them, so I'm watching them.
I've also been catching up on films over break. One of my favorite parts of the spring is like festival seasons. And even though like Cleveland Film Festival got canceled, it's really cool to go back through films of previous years. And Ann Arbor made their entire festival virtual and free. So that was fun to do last week.
It's really awesome to hear about all of the things you guys are doing, and I might need to incorporate some of those into my own schedule. I've been trying to kind of like blend things together to try and save some time, I guess. So spending time with my parents and also kind of engaging in things that I enjoy doing. I have been doing some like singing lessons with my mom because she's always wanted to learn how to sing, and I love singing. And then also my dad and I did martial arts together from when I was like 7 to 14, and we just recently started like picking it up again, and like just in the privacy of our own home, keeping social distancing, but like going through all the motions and remembering all the different forms that we learned back then. All right. Thank you all again for taking the time out of your busy days to hop on this call with me. I hope you all stay safe and healthy, and hopefully we'll be able to see each other on campus when classes return in person.
Senior, so